Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. Shall we move on to some tweets?
Oh yeah, I'm in a great mood now. I'm sure.
Feeling spicy?
Sure this will stand to improve my general disposition.
Oh God, Cat! Oh fuck. She's just finding.
What did she get?
Yeah, that was a beer can, so not a big deal. But... I needed to clean that up anyway, I guess.
She's helping.
Yeah.
I has help.
Yeah. Okay. Tweet
Which
time.
one are we starting with?
We're going to start with Evan.
Evan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Evan, yeah. Evan says Trump and Elon Musk, two billionaires, are more in touch with everyday Americans than the people we elected to represent us.
Okay, couple things.
Just a couple.
Just a couple things. Does Evan realize that Trump was in fact elected to represent? I'm not saying.
I mean, not this time.
Idea.
I mean, he wasn't this time. I assume that, like, I'm just assuming from this person's profile that they probably think that he did win the 2020 election.
There's a lot of flags in this profile.
There are a couple, yeah.
I don't know. If I saw his Twitter banner, there would be more. He's not a billionaire.
Well, he says he is.
He's not. Trump's not a billionaire. And they think that he thinks that both of them are in touch with everyday Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But why though? Did you see what fucking Trump did at the NRA convention?
I saw that guns were not allowed at his speech.
No, this is fucked. This is fully fucked. If you didn't hear this, I need to tell you. This is the man that they're saying is in touch with everyday Americans. He read the names of all of the victims of the shooting in Texas.
God.
Mispronounced basically every single fucking name.
Because he's Trump.
And then as soon as he was done, played his very upbeat exit music and did a fucking dance.
Oh, his double jerk-off dance?
Yes.
After
reading the names of every fucking child victim, just basically wrong, just walked away from the podium to very upbeat, look at me music and did a fucking dance. Like no reverence for the situation whatsoever.
I know you're not supposed to diagnose people over the internet, but he's got to have narcissism or sociopathy. That's what I'm trying to say.
It was fucking surreal.
There's no way there is not something fundamentally wrong with his brain that needs to be treated, honestly.
I think he's just been so coddled and sheltered and privileged his entire life, likely, and just protected from consequences, that he doesn't seem to even have a concept of how to fucking act right.
Funk Dragon in the chat says Trump poops in gold toilets, but he's in reality.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, and Elon,
like, just on a whim decides to offer $44 billion for Twitter, and then on another whim just be like, nope, not doing that anymore.
I know. Just sends people to space because he's like, that would be cool. He is in touch with the common man.
Yeah,
that much is certain.
There has been a lot of good that has like the advances that SpaceX has made have been amazing. Tesla, I'm currently in the market for a vehicle that I would prefer to be at least partially electric. And so I've seen a lot of comparisons between, like, I'm looking for an SUV, and a lot of people will compare to the Model Y. And fun fact, one of the most common comparisons I hear is, oh, this SUV that is half the price of the Model Y has a much more luxurious interior. That all the time. All the reviewers are commenting on that. But I won't deny that they kind of popularized electric vehicles, but it's like they're overpriced, and they need to fix a few things. If they catch on
fire, you can't escape because they have no door handles.
No, they do. They're just like hidden behind the speakers.
Yeah, and you need to like
No, there's
take a tutorial.
that's actually an older model. The newer models, they're like built right into the door, but it's like hidden or whatever.
Mm,
So it is easier to get out. But I think the back seats don't have any, which is
that
frightening.
seems dangerous.
But yeah, now that all this being said, you hear about the times in the news when the Teslas they crash into things because they were like someone was using the self-driving thing wrong or whatever. But like I actually saw a statistic that like people who own multiple cars are less likely to crash their Tesla than other cars because of a lot of these safety features. So it's like, yeah, they do work. We just hear about when it goes wrong, and then our confirmation bias kicks in, makes us think it's worse than it is. So I'm not going to deny that there are good things that Tesla has done. There are good things that SpaceX has done, but a lot of those good things get Elon's name slapped on them when it's like, no, that came out of like Elon spewed 15 things that he wanted to get done, and 2 of them were feasible, so he paid a bunch of engineers to actually do them, and the other ones he just hoped everybody forgot about.
That's fair.
That's
and
how he works.
It also doesn't make him any more in touch with the common man.
No. No, what that means is that he's really good at spewing ideas and hiring people that will make some of them maybe work.
Right. Which isn't a special or unique skill.
No.
Really.
I mean, you remember when he wanted to terraform Mars by nuking it? He was like, oh, if we nuke it, it'll warm
Elon
it up.
Musk memory was when he gave away the blowtorches.
Buy a Tesla, get a flamethrower.
Like the man, but that was funny.
My favorite moment is when he was bragging about how the Cybertruck glass windows are impossible to break, and he demonstrated that by throwing a ball at the window, and the window broke. That was amazing. He certainly is fun to watch. I'll give him that.
Not on Saturday Night Live, he isn't. Did you watch it? Oh my god, that was bad. That was bad.
I don't watch Saturday Night Live.
Oh well, I wouldn't pick up watching it to see him because it was bad. It's not worth it. It's bad. It's not like it's so bad it's funny bad. It's just I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to watch this anymore. Bad. It's not Assassin's 33 AD bad.
Yeah. No. That one was what's the one that I just watched? God awful movies guys just did it this week. What's it called? I don't know. It's free on YouTube and it's fun. And they like have stupid special effects. Apparently it took them like 6 years to make this movie because of the special effects. And they're hot like they're good for the kind of movie that this is. Okay. But they're hot garbage.
Oh no, I want to know what it's called. Although when you recommend movies to me, they're always awful. Like that one with the fucking birds. What was that one with the goddamn birds?
The Core?
Maybe. I don't know. It was like a religious movie and there was like birds attacking people.
Birdemic?
Yes, maybe it was Birdemic. That's what it was. It was Birdemic. Maybe it wasn't a religious movie. It was just a bad movie.
Yeah, that sounds about
fucking
right.
Awful.
Okay, I'm looking up the god awful movies because it'll Mayflower 2. It was the Mayflower 2.
Mayflower.
Well, because they have a spaceship called the Mayflower. No, the spaceship is called the Mayflower 2 because it's taking them as pilgrims away from the Earth. But this is one of the things they brought up on the podcast is that apparently this was supposed to be movie 1 of a trilogy. Okay. So what's the second one going to be called? The Mayflower 2 too?
Mayflower again.
Mayflower 2B. With the subtitle or not to be. All right.
I don't know. Well, this one maybe was already.
So Jason York, he spells his name like an asshole, so we know this is going to be good.
Oh, I gotta switch tweets. Okay.
Yeah.
Jason York
says Sodom and Gomorrah have nothing on the good old USA. The judgment that awaits the nation celebrates. The judgment that awaits the nation. I think that's supposed to be that celebrates Pride Month is unimaginable. I don't know what SDG stands for.
Yeah, I don't know what maybe somebody in the chat knows what SDG means. Something God.
Suck the dick of God? Oh, we got Mayflower 2 Electric Boogaloo.
God doesn't have a dick.
Well, then how is he a man? Why does he use him pronouns if he doesn't have a dick?
Once or twice a year, I tweet that out just to watch people lose their shit.
Sacrilege.
Is God non-binary? No, he's a man. Does he have a penis? Of course he doesn't. Oh, okay. So you don't need a penis to be a man.
Don't need a penis to be a man.
That's not human. Oh, guys.
He's got the male essence. So
That's right.
he's got he's spiritually male, kind of like a trans man would be.
That's right. What does gametes look like? Do you figure? I mean, he got a woman pregnant, so I'm gonna guess.
I like to picture God. God probably has like fruit fly gametes. You know, they're the ones where like the fruit fly is like this big, but their sperm is like this big. I'm just picturing God with giant sperm.
Like an unreasonable amount. It's troubling.
See,
it's troubling to me
so if God was going to smite people because of Sodom and Gomorrah shit, I think us discussing the size of God's sperm would deserve a smiting. So I'm waiting for the asteroid.
I should have been smited so many times. I should be salt right now. Right now.
Oh.
Right now. But I don't understand, like, I don't understand any of these people. Sodom and Gomorrah have nothing on the USA. So I'm guessing he's assuming that Sodom and Gomorrah, like the reason that God rained fire down on them is because they were the gays.
Even though it was probably about hospitality. Like
it was because they tried to rape the angels or whatever.
No, if you look at the cultural context, it's like, yeah, there was some issue with the homosexuality thing going on that wasn't approved of, but the main reason they were all wicked was because they in ancient Israel, the rules of hospitality were incredibly important, and so you would you wished harm on someone's guest. That is not allowed. So that was the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah, was that they violated the rules of hospitality. So the butt sex was a side issue at best.
Well, I guess now we know why this guy doesn't have American flags in his Twitter handle, because he doesn't like America. Because
he's waiting for it to get destroyed.
because they let gay people exist in public, and can you fucking imagine?
Oh, my favorite
the
though.
Audacity.
My favorite though are all the people that post on May 31st with the our veterans only get one day and the gay people get a whole month. Meanwhile, May is military. I forget what it's the military month. I forget what it's called, but.
Oh, is that when Memorial Day is in the States? I don't know a lot about.
Yeah, they just had Memorial Day, and so people were posting their Memorial Day memes about how soldiers get one day and the LGBTQ people get a whole month. Meanwhile, soldiers actually get 3 days, and I think there are 2 months that they have dedicated to them.
And also, these are the same people that probably wouldn't vote in a tax increase so that they could increase mental health care. And
with the shootings that are happening, it drives me nuts, because you get these Republicans being like, "Oh, well, we need to invest more in mental health." And like, then why the fuck did you vote against that?
They're cutting mental health bills all over the place. They're taking money away from mental health, left, right, and center. Constantly. They just took several millions away in Texas right before this happened.
I'm reading this comment because I really want to say this guy's name.
Okay.
First name Titan, last name Uranus.
Oh, I know. I love Titan Uranus.
Titan Uranus says, "Oh no, not homosexuals."
I know. Us queers are all over the place. We're taking over your schools.
I wish I was bi.
Teach the children that gender exists.
I think the existence of straight people is itself proof that sexuality is not a choice. Because if you could choose your sexuality, why would you not choose to be attracted to everybody?
Yeah. Right? That opens up the dating pool.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. Well, I mean, I'm bi, so that makes total sense.
I wish I was bi.
My dating pool is wide open.
I wish I was bi.
Now I'm monogamous. Was wide open at one point, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
just so.
We have the peach tree dish lady.
We're switching. Okay.
Representative Peachtree Dish. Marjorie Peachtree Green.
Jewish Space Laser District. Representative.
Says, okay, this tweet.
Supporter of the gazpacho.
This tweet came so close. It came so close to getting it. the greatest choice a woman can make is becoming a mother.
I know, she was right at the precipice,
It's like,
right?
you know that
She knows
thought
what the
that
word
was
choice
she
means.
thought that was so clever, and then it's like, yes, that's what we've been saying. It should be a choice. Like, oh, God.
I don't. Maybe this is one of those things where she knew that what she was
Maybe.
saying.
I don't think this one was. I think this one
No, you
was
think that
legitimate. She thought this was a gotcha.
And also a misogynistic, like patriarchal.
Yeah.
Okay. The greatest thing a woman can do is become a mother. I mean, I am a mother, and it was the best decision that I ever made. But it was my decision. There's that. But it's not the greatest thing about every woman, nor does it have to be. Like, not every woman wants to be a mother. And I would argue that if you don't want to be a mother,
then it's
like,
probably
you
best if
shouldn't.
you're not.
Don't then do not.
Well, that's one of the things that
And
I
good.
hear
Just
all the
a
time.
pussy
It just
love.
makes sense to me is that every child should be a wanted child.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I would rather have been
Seems
aborted
reasonable.
than to be born in a family that doesn't want me.
Yep. Like, I just and the body autonomy and medical privacy are that, like, that's it for me when it comes to the abortion debate. It's just, that's it for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even realize that that's what Roe v. Wade is actually about. It's about the right to medical privacy.
Yeah, it's that my body is none of your business. If my doctor prescribes me a certain amount of care, that's between me and my doctor.
Mm-hmm. And on the reason that more people should be concerned about it than even just people who can give birth is that if they overturn Roe v. Wade, some of the repercussions could be that other parts of your medical, like whatever the government deems to be other parts of your medical history or your medical choices, could then be legislated.
There are
like Roe v. Wade was
already
protecting more than the right to an abortion.
there are already
With
states
medical
that are
privacy.
pushing legislation to criminalize birth control.
Exactly, no doubt. Exactly.
It's like we're
doubt
not
in
even
mind.
talking about Plan B, which is not an abortion, but like just normal birth control, the kind of birth control that someone who's not even sexually active but just has bad cramps might be on.
Yeah. Anti-vaxxers should be freaking the fuck out too, because if you don't have a right to medical privacy and you can be compelled to have medical to make medical decisions.
But vaccines are covered by the HIPAA.
Well,
the
are
HIPAA
they
laws.
really though? Like,
No,
why wouldn't
no, they're
abortion
not. They
be
don't
covered?
understand. They don't understand what those things.
Like, because this opens some of that door, right? Because you could, especially because they're going to put it up to the states, right? But the states can now punish you for having an abortion. They can also punish you for leaving the state to have an abortion. But how do they know whether you did or didn't have an abortion?
I'm not sure if they can under current jurisprudence. I don't know if a state is allowed to punish you for something you did in another state.
They punish you if you leave it for the sake of getting an abortion.
Yeah, no, that's what they've passed as laws. But I think if that made it to a reasonable Supreme Court, I think there's a thing in the Constitution about states not being able to regulate what goes on across state boundaries that falls purely under the federal jurisdiction. So like I don't think I could be wrong on this. I ain't a law talking guy.
Do anything about these laws?
Well, I think what I think is going to happen, what I think should happen, are two very different things. So what I think is going to happen is that when somebody is prosecuted for having an out-of-state abortion and it makes it to the Supreme Court because that falls afoul of the regulating interstate commerce or whatever, whatever the fuck the thing is, if that makes it to the Supreme Court, the current Supreme Court will be like, no, yeah, you had an abortion, that's bad, so we're going to side with the people, even though their law is completely unconstitutional. We're going to side with them because we're being activists from the bench, which is something that the right has been saying we shouldn't be doing for ages now.
And they are.
That's exactly what they're doing. We shouldn't do it as long as the Democrats have the majority.
But here's the thing that's like the most important point, I think, is how do they know you're pregnant? How do they confirm that you're pregnant unless they have access to your medical records?
That's why Texas was doing the thing where it's not the state that's prosecuting you, it's somebody else is suing you for having had the abortion. So then that puts...
That's how they get it. But how do they know that you're pregnant even without access to your medical records?
that's what's so dystopian about this, because like this is the Handmaid's Tale, where you're not sure whether the person walking beside you can be trusted with information or not. So like if you tell your friend that you're pregnant and then suddenly you're not pregnant anymore, your friend might turn around and decide to sue you.
How do they know you had an abortion, not a miscarriage? Without access to your
then it
medical
becomes
records?
your job to demonstrate that you had a miscarriage and not an abortion.
This is fucking dystopian bullshit.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. It's like, it literally is Handmaid's Tale level. Texas is the Republic of Gilead.
Americans.
Yeah.
God. I'm really like that.
Now, to be clear,
realize that, like,
to be clear, some of the legal stuff that I've said here, I am fully willing to admit I might be wrong on that. I am not a lawyer. And even if I was, I would probably specialize in Canadian law, not American. So there's a lot that I could be wrong on here. I hope that I am wrong on a lot here. But I don't think
like,
that
it scares the shit out of me. Like, it scares the shit out of me. Like, not being able to have autonomy over your own medical choices and privacy about it. And not only not being able to have that, being potentially jailed or like financially crippled because you want to exercise that autonomy is like, it's so terrifying. And I don't think that people realize just what it means from a legal precedent standpoint when it comes to, like, if they can crack open any woman's medical records at some point in order to be able to accuse or charge or prove that something like this has happened, like, what does that mean for your medical records when they change their mind down the line? Like, they just put their foot in a really scary fucking door, and you let them do it. You let them fucking do it because you think you're saving babies, and you're not. In most cases, you're saving a bundle of fucking cells. And you're not even saving it. Like, you're putting more children in the system. You're putting more women's lives at risk. It's just, I fucking hate it.
Yep. It's a dystopian hellscape.
Unreal.
Anyway,
slippy slope.
Let's talk about Ben Shapiro now.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that won't make me any less pissed off. What does he have to say today?
So this is
for fuck's sake.
A couple weeks. So just to get this straight, the left argues that demographics are destiny, that demographics change in America, or that demographic change in America will inevitably lead to a progressive majority, and it's Republicans who are echoing the Great Replacement theory. So
you go.
Okay, I chose some spicy ones today. Yeah, so there's the Great Replacement theory. I might have this wrong. That's the thing where they're saying, like, we're trying to get people of color to replace all the white people through, like, breeding programs or whatever.
Yeah,
or something like that. It's like, okay, this is ideas.
It depends on which idiot you're talking to.
Yeah. But like, as far as like, this is just how society works. Society progresses as time goes on. And so progressive ideas will, generally speaking, win out over the regressive ones. That's not the same as replacing a race of people with another race of people. That's just getting better ideas. You learn more stuff and you have better ideas based on what you've learned. Like, yeah, okay, well, let's call that replacement. We replace bad ideas with good ideas. Is that a bad thing?
Oh, and I think what he's saying is actually more nefarious than that, though, dude.
Okay.
Like, he's saying, so let's get this straight. The left argues that demographics are destiny, which I don't think I mean, I'm on the left and I don't fucking understand. But anyway, whatever. The demographic change in America will inevitably lead to a progressive majority.
Referencing the fact that when more people vote, when a greater number of people vote, Democrats tend to win.
A wider variety of groups.
And and the people that are disenfranchised tend to be demographically, like, people of this ethnicity, people of this income level, people like, so when you look at the demographics, you can tell who they'll tend to vote for. So I think that's what he's referencing there.
Okay, that makes sense. And that demographic change in America will inevitably lead to a progressive majority, which means that the demographics will be have a wider variation in the future, which means, more people of different races and cultures and ethnicities, like all the way across the board in America. And then he says, and it's Republicans who are echoing the Great Replacement theory. So he's basically saying,
he just echoed the Great Replacement theory.
That he's saying that is the Great Replacement.
Okay,
is what he's saying.
So he's saying that
that it actually is happening.
Oh, so he's just straight up saying the replacement theory. He's just straight up saying that the demographics are going to become more diverse,
and that the left are saying that that's what they want. And so this tweet, to me, the way I read as, oh, and so you're telling us we're crazy about the Great Replacement theory, but look, you guys are it's actually happening. It's actually happening, because evidently it just means that, demographic change over time, like, which just is kind of a natural thing to happen, especially in a society that's, an immigrant society.
Yeah,
this is an immigrant society.
Guess what the first Great Replacement was. It was this used to, like, North America used to not have any white people. Guess who did the Great Replacement there?
Probably better off. Exactly right. So that's why I think it's more nefarious, because I think that he's pointing to it and saying, yeah, that you think we're crazy, but it actually is happening, and it's what you guys want. That's what I think he's saying.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's one of the list of reasons I think he fucking sucks.
He does very much. Okay, this one's a bit fun. So ABC News tweeted out, says, a mother of 9 who started medical school when her youngest child was 4 years old graduated with her medical degree and plans to be a neurosurgeon. Ben Shapiro retweeted that by saying, but abortion is the only way that women can succeed in America.
No one's fucking arguing that. Like, no. Is anybody standing at a podium saying we need abortion rights because it's the only way we can succeed? Nobody's fucking saying. Okay, like, that's silly.
This goes deeper, though. I actually went and read the news article out of curiosity, because I had certain suspicions, and these suspicions
Ben Shapiro would never misrepresent a news source.
Well, no, I don't think he
like him.
No, he's not really saying anything about the news source here. He didn't. But my suspicions were confirmed. What I suspected was that this mother of 9 had a very, very thorough support network of people helping her with this. And so when I went to read the article, before she went to school, her husband was already making enough money that she was able to be a stay-at-home mom. So they're already making enough money that one parent working is enough for them. Mm-hmm. Her mother and her stepfather, her stepfather made enough money that her mother was able to stay home as well. And her stepfather also works remote, so her mother and stepfather were able to move to where they were living so that she could go to classes and they'd have full-time free childcare. So basically, she was in the perfect situation for something. I'm not saying this to lessen her accomplishment. Having 9 kids and making it through school is definitely something to celebrate.
Yeah, huge.
But she did not do it without help. She had a huge support network. Her husband was supportive of her. She asked her kids about it as well. They were all supportive of her. Her parents were supportive of her, like, to the point where they were giving her free childcare, which,
God,
that's not
delightful.
That's not something that's an option for everyone.
That's not an option for a lot of 2-income families. Like, regardless of how much money you make.
Yeah.
But it's certainly, like, you can't hold that up. So he's basically trying to posit this just from, like, a tweet headline that, look, this woman with 9 children was able to do something. So what's your problem, other women? What do you want? What do you want abortions for? Obviously, it's doable that you can just keep popping out kids nonstop and still live out your dreams. But it's not feasible.
Not for
it's
most
not
people.
A reality for everybody. This woman was in a
the
privileged
reason
position.
The reason this is news is because it's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it happened all the time, it wouldn't be news.
Right, exactly. It wouldn't be such a massive accomplishment, even without the support network that she had.
Yeah.
that it actually made the fucking news.
You might get a kick out of this. Rick Schofield, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, says 9 kids is not bad when you are a baseball coach.
I am a soccer coach, so it's 7 aside now, so I've got 11 kids that I'm coaching currently, and that's bad.
Are they at the age group where they actually have to follow the rules now?
Yes, so I was very excited because this is the first year that they're actually getting them. I was furious last year because they were doing kick-ins instead of throw-ins, and I'm a soccer player, right? So it was like I felt like they were teaching them improper fundamentals because there's no need for them to do a kick-in at that age. They can do a throw-in, like just maybe don't call them on their feet lifts as much. You don't care about sports ball, but anyway, yes, they're at the age where they're now following the proper rules, with the exception of offside. It's only 7 aside on a smaller field, so I'm not introducing offside to anybody yet.
I've never been able to figure out what offsides even is.
I'm trying to get them out of their cluster still a little bit too. So
defense. All right, you brought up Thomism or Thomism earlier. We have
yes, I did.
Thomistic Disputations.
Oh, it's like I fucking channeled this.
Yeah.
Atheism, actually, of course it is. Fuck me.
Atheism is actually a religion. No, it's not. Because atheists end up worshiping themselves as if they are a god.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What do you think that means? I can never figure it out when they say
Here's the thing. I have self-esteem issues. I always think that I'm not good enough. Always.
Cheers. Can relate.
So,
yeah.
If that's what you consider worship, then yeah, I basically do worship God, because I don't think the God of the Christian God is good enough to deserve anything from us.
Yeah,
so yeah, if that's what they consider worship, then sure.
But I can never quite figure it out. I would love it if maybe they'll leave a comment later. Somebody will leave a comment explaining what they mean by worship themselves as if they are God. Does that just mean that,
like, I don't go somewhere every Sunday and sing songs about how great I am?
I mean, speak for yourself. Only on Sunday. Yeah, does it just mean that you're like focused on your own well-being? Because I feel like Christians are too.
Sometimes to a greater degree.
Yeah, right. Like you think that you're going to be like it forever, exist forever.
I'm important enough that the all-powerful creator of the universe paid attention to me specifically, and he listens to me when I talk to him.
Yeah, and and what's your definition of God mean then? Because I certainly don't think that I have like powers and shit. So, like, I legitimately don't understand. It's just a nonsense statement to me.
There is no understanding it, I don't think.
Okay, well then we're on the same page. This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, Richard Dawkins is making another appearance via Frank Turek.
Oh fuck.
So Frank Turek is quoting Dawkins, saying,
"That's the level that Dawkins is at now. Where Turek is quoting you. Take your ball and go the fuck home. Take your fucking ball and go the fuck home." If Frank Turek is unironically quoting you, well, reevaluate your fucking life.
Actually, this is actually a good quote from Dawkins, believe it or not.
No, I don't believe you.
Well, he says,
I haven't read it yet.
He says, I mean, in a way, I feel that one of the reasons for learning about Darwinian evolution is as an object lesson in how not to set up our values and social lives. So this is Dawkins coming out against social Darwinism.
Okay,
and
that's fair.
I think it's funny that Frank thinks this is some sort of gotcha. It's like, no, this is what we've been telling you idiots every time you bring up the fact that Hitler was into eugenics. Is that like we'll tell you flat out, like, no, evolution's not a good way to plan a society. That's not good, and we agree that it's not good.
And they do that too. I've never understood that as a counter argument. It's like, well, evolution isn't true because Hitler. But
it's like, Hitler didn't believe in evolution, right?
I don't know. I don't spend much time studying
it's hard,
Hitler.
It's hard to parse out with Hitler because he there's I don't think, like, some people will say, like, oh, he professed to be a Christian in his speeches. He used God a lot in his speeches. He used God in Mein Kampf or whatever. So they'll say like, oh, well, Hitler's one of your guys. He wasn't an atheist. But I think Hitler was the kind of person that would use religion as the tool to get what he wanted and would have no problem playing the part. And so it's kind of the same thing with evolution. Did he actually not believe in evolution? Because like the quotes of his where he doesn't believe in evolution are always like really, really close to the God quotes. And it's like, oh, well, we were made the way that God made us, sort of thing.
And also what he believed doesn't fucking matter anyway. You're just trying to tether something to him.
Well, you see, even if he
say, see, it's bad. Like it's
even if he is an atheist, though. Yeah, no, Godwin's law is just when you bring up Hitler as a gotcha, and you automatically lose the argument because you brought it up. But see, the thing about Hitler is that it really says something about, like, if he really was an atheist, then what does that say about atheism? That the way that he accomplished what he did was by pretending to be Christian, using Christianity as the tool to accomplish the things that he did. He couldn't use atheism for that.
With the church.
Yeah.
He
could not use atheism for that because atheism doesn't really lend itself to that.
So he had to play the game.
Yeah.
Because that institution is so powerful that you would need to.
It goes back to that quote about how without God, good people will do good things and bad people do bad things. But in order to get a good person to do a bad thing, that takes religion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I butchered that quote, but that's the general.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Anyway,
so, okay,
whatever. That's the last.
Fuck Frank Turek. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not fuck him. I don't know if he's good or bad. He blocked me on Twitter, so I don't get to see his bullshit.
He's more than a little smarmy.
He's not that bad.
He's more than a little smarmy. He's one of the ones that, like, he'll travel around to universities and his whole thing is tripping up students in the question and answer period by he did one not long ago where he thought he made some sort of good point by he asked the student about the student's sex life, and the student got all embarrassed about it because he asked them about something that's a social taboo in front of a group of his peers.
That's a natural reaction.
So Frank's response to the student being embarrassed was, oh, well, the reason you're feeling embarrassed right there is because of the shame that God is putting on your heart or whatever. It's like you feel guilty because you know you're breaking God's laws when you have sex. It's like, no, it's because you broke a social taboo in front of all his friends. It's like, it's really that simple.
In a public forum that was likely being recorded and
put on the internet. Like this.
You know how I purposefully made you uncomfortable utilizing something that would make anybody reasonably uncomfortable based on the way that we structure our society and have taught people about what they can and can't speak about publicly? You know how I just did that to you? That's because God.
See, I kind of wish
that checkmate atheists.
I kind of wish that I could be in that situation where Frank tries to get me with that, and then I could just turn around and be like, yeah, we fuck all the time. I did right in the ass yesterday.
Just growing skin.
It was like,
robots.
you see how you're uncomfortable right now, Frank? That's because you know that atheism is true in your heart, and you're just denying it, and that's why you're uncomfortable with me being so graphic up here.
I know you want to talk about that.
So yeah, my new channel just got monetized.
I wouldn't put this over there. Let's see. We have Hitler. We have sexual assault.
Yeah, this segment will be running with limited ads.
If this is monetized, I will eat my hat.
Yeah,
maybe
I actually on my main channel, I have good luck with that with my streams.
Do you?
Not most, but a good chunk of them are automatically not monetized on the other one. But my main streams are mostly monetized. Like, there's only like 2 or 3 that are not.
Not bad.
Which is weird because, like, I do these for the super chats, so I don't care about the ad revenue generally. So I am a little bit more unhinged. I'm more likely to mime. My daughter's right over there, so I can't do it again. But You know what I mean. You know what I'm referring to.
Donald Trump dance.
Did you see the video where they actually photoshopped in the floppy penises?
You and I are in different corners of the internet, bud.
Remember back in the day when you were everywhere on the internet?
I still am everywhere on the internet.
Anyway,
I just avert my eyes in some sections.
Like I said, my daughter is right over there. I got to get going. So I'm going to hit the credits button. So thanks for joining me, Shannon.
I guess bye.
Thanks for joining me, everybody else. I still haven't figured out how the heck to end these things.
We need a countdown is what we need.
We need a countdown
10.
to a countdown to the end credits.
More countdowns.
Oh, yeah. I just found my end credits button and it's reminding me to check for super chats, just in case I missed any. Oh, yeah, I did miss one. Max, I hope you're still in the audience, says, as someone who doesn't watch Stranger Things, it was still nice to hear Vice Rhino say Max is the best out loud. That felt nice.
Aw.
So you're welcome, Max. Max
Someone's
is the
got
best.
a soundboard piece now.
Okay, end credits now. Bye.
Bye.